You say Om Keshwaya Namaha, Om Narayana Namaha. There's no Vedic mantra which doesn't start with Om. Actually, if a mantra that doesn't start with Om, it's not a Vedic mantra. It's not Shruti. Shruti means starts with Om. And then Krishna says, I am the sound in ether and ability in man. So this all we discussed last time. Next. Punyo Gandha Prativyam cha
Punyo Gandha Prithivya
Tejaschasmi Vibhavasau
Tejaschasmi Vibhavasau
Jivanam Sarvabhuteshu
Jivanam Sarvabhuteshu
Tapaschasmi Tapasvishu
Tapaschasmi Tapasvishu.
I am the original fragrance of the earth, and I am the heat in fire. I am the life of all that lives, and I am the penances of all ascetics.
So I am the original fragrance of the earth. Just like we were discussing, when after rain, have you smelt the earth? Very pleasing. So Krishna says, I am the original fragrance. And I'm also the heat in fire. What uses fire without heat property? You use fire for cooking because of its property of heat, giving heat. You use fire for lighting wood because of heat. Whatever you use fire for is because of its heat property, isn't it? Krishna says, I am the heat in fire. I am the life of all that lives, and I am the penance of all the ascetics. Bijam mam sarva bhutana
Bijam mam sarva bhutana
Vidhi partha sanatanam
Vidhi partha sanatanam
Buddhir buddhimatamasmi
Buddhir buddhimatamasmi
Tejas tejasvinamaham.
Tejas tejasvinamaham.
O son of Pritha, know that I am the original seed of all existences, the intelligence of the intelligent, and the prowess of all powerful men.
Yeah. Krishna says, I am the original seed of all that lives, of all existence. That means if today, say, mango becomes extinct, mango family, so no more mangoes are available on earth. So who has to give the next seed? Krishna. You cannot produce it by your science, chemical methods. Not possible. Krishna has to give the next seed. Then from that, again, mango family will start. Then you have Alfonso mangoes, high tea mangoes, and in India, what all you have? Kesar mangoes and Langda. Yeah. So all the kinds of mangoes will come, but the first seed is given by Krishna. The first seed for guava fruit is given by Krishna. The first seed for human beings is given by Krishna. First seed for all the serpents is given by Krishna. Yeah. So he is the original seed of all existence. And even if someone says everything got extinct, so God is not in control. No, he can again put one seed by which again the species can come about. Generally, it is thought that the species come about by evolution, isn't it? Which is not true. Species don't come about by evolution. For example, if you take a dog and if you put some take it to the laboratory and do some experiment, you can have fat dog, thin dog, brown dog, black dog, tall dog, short dog, but dog will not become a cat, isn't it? So evolution, Mr. Darwin, his proposition is that from a dog, keeping the environment constant by the philosophy, by the what do you say? Survival of the fittest. By the, you don't say philosophy, by the dash, by the method. By the survival of fittest, he says the dog, if need be, can become a cat. For example, he says the rats became a horse. The bears became whales. And short-necked mammals became giraffes. So I would always say that it's a good fairy tale, but not science. And it's very common sense logic, because you can just ask yourself, did human beings come from apes? If so, who is your father? Is he ape or human being? His father?
Human being.
His father? Go 50 fathers up. Is he human being or ape? So at one point in time, ape gave birth to human being. Can never happen. But then the scientists say, no, You are missing out the missing link. What is the missing link? Half ape, half human. They have never found such a fossil till date. How is it possible? Isn't it? So therefore, Krishna says, "I am the original seed." But somehow, this Darwin and Dawkins, Richard Dawkins. So what they do, they want to put God out of the picture. So therefore, they concoct such philosophies. Another philosophy is they apply Darwin's theory on Vishnu only. You have seen Matsya, then comes Kurma, like aquatics become amphibian. Never heard of this? Yeah, then final missing link is Narsimha, half man, half lion. Yeah. From then on, Ram, Krishna, and Kalki, all human beings. By the way, this is another popular theory. Yeah, it's so funny. Because now this 10 avatars in this order is not given Bhagavatam. I don't know from where do people get this order. If you see Srimad Bhagavatam, you have 24 avatars. And then it says the number of avatars of Vishnu are unlimited, just like waves in an ocean. So why these 10? Isn't it? In the Leela avatars are 24, not 10. So therefore, this avatar also, So and even if they say, okay, Kurma, Matsya, then Kurma, but Kurma came before Matsya. Isn't it? Matsya comes towards the end of the Yuga, at the time of destruction to carry the sages to the next Yuga. But Kurma was there before to balance the Mandara mountain. So if you see all that, this is all just a makeup to fool the living entities. And then what do they say? We know how the universe has come about. How has it come about? Through Big Bang theory or quantum theory or string theory. If you ask them what it is, they cannot tell you. This sounds very nice. So therefore, when we study the Bhagavad Gita, it becomes very clear who is the original seed of all existence. Krishna very humbly, very straightforward says, it is me. Krishna accepts it. Now you can ask scientists who is the original seed of all existence. They don't know. They'll say, I think Big Bang, I think this. Krishna says clearly it's me. So after that he says he's the intelligence of the intelligent. Generally we like intelligent people. But who is intelligence? Who is the IQ? Krishna is the IQ. And the prowess of all powerful men. That is also Krishna. Yeah. See, every living entity is contained within the scope of 8.4 million species of life. Some are moving, some are inert. In all cases, however, the seed of their life is Krishna. We discussed all of this, so I'm just going ahead. Balam balavatam chaham
Balam balavatam chaham
kamaraga vivarjitam
kamaraga vivarjitam
dharma viruddha bhuteshu
dharma viruddha bhuteshu
kamosmi bharatarshava.
kamosmi bharatarshava.
Next.
I am the strength of the strong, devoid of passion and desire. I am sex life which is not contrary to religious principles, O Lord of Bharatas. Arjuna.
So here, this is where we paused last time. Krishna says, I am the strength of the strong, devoid of passion and desire. And he says, I am the sex life which is not contrary to the religious principles. So what does that mean? That means once some disciples of Sri Prabhupada back in the day, they were going in a van and they came across, they wanted to fill gas. So this person in the gas station, he said, oh, you guys are Hare Krishnas, because Tilak and shaven head. He said, you guys are the Hare Krishnas. And they said, we love your food, we love the philosophy. No, actually they said, we love the food, we love you guys, but only problem is with the philosophy. That you guys don't get married. You're all just monks. And they said, no, we are not just monks, we also get married. But then they said, why no illicit sex? That's what they said. So in this world also you will find, actually one other time, Srila Prabhupada was approached by another person. He said, if you cut down one regulative principle, you will get 1 million more followers. So if your subscribers on YouTube are 1 million, you will become 2 million. Only you have to cut down no illicit sex. of four regular principles: no meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, no illicit sex. Cut down no illicit sex, you'll get a million more followers. Sri Prabhupada said, I don't want such followers. So in this world, what is condemned is irreligious mixing of the opposite sex. But Krishna in this verse clearly tells Arjuna, when things are taken place on the basis of dharma, dharma viruddha bhuteshu kamosmi. That means when man and woman come together, perform religious rites, and get married with Agni as Sakshi, and different other Sakshis are there. Many demigods are placed, and different saintly people are there. The society is there. So when someone gets married like that, and they come together to produce progeny for producing Krishna conscious children, then such sex life, Krishna says, it is me. So therefore we have to clearly understand, Krishna is not against sex life, he is not against marriage. What is Krishna against? He is against living like animals. So therefore Krishna says, I am sex life which is not contrary to religious principles. Same problem even Arjuna also expressed in the first chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna tells Krishna, my dear Krishna, if we fight this war, then the opposite party, all the seniors will be killed. That means Bhishma, Drona, Kripa, the seniors who are supposed to pass down traditions and values will be killed. Now if those people are killed and the tradition is lost, then the future generation, the youngsters, will be people with no values. So when the youngsters become people with no values, the women in society will be polluted. And the progeny born thereof are called as Varna Shankaras, who are like demons in a human body. They will be completely uncontrolled with respect to their senses, their habits, and they will be very degraded. And they will destroy the entire human population by their activities. So Arjuna also expressed this concern. So you can understand the Vedic civilization where they were pretty much anxious about creating good progeny. But in the scriptures also it is mentioned, yes, there are different classes. You have Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyasi, of which only Grihastha can engage with opposite sex. So in that, the man and woman can only come together for producing Krishna conscious children. That's the only purpose. In 5th canto also, Rishabhadev says, Gurur na sasyad, then what? Guru na sasyad, Janani na sasyad, Pita na sasyad. Like that he says one cannot become a guru, one cannot become a guardian, one cannot become a father, one cannot become a mother, and so many other things you cannot become if you cannot deliver your subordinate from the cycle of birth and death. Then you should not be. I cannot simply say, I know a lot of knowledge, please become my disciples. That is not allowed. Rishabhadev says, if I become a guru, then I should be able to deliver the people who are under me. Same with father, mother, guru, guardian, anyone who accepts, king, who accepts a responsible position in society should not cheat the subordinates. And therefore this regulation is there, that yes, when man and woman comes together, they can produce progeny, but they do it based on religious principles. They're not doing it for fun. Like one boy was asked, what was he asked? He finally told the other person, I came by mistake. Came by mistake means my father and mother, they met in a pub and they were partying, and at night they mingled, and next day, soon I was the product. So they never intended to have me. So such people are called as Varna Shankaras. The problem with these Varna Shankaras is they will come with very bad habits. Because it is said the type of progeny is determined by the consciousness of the parents at the time of union. That particular soul will enter. So, Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksh. Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksh also say, in their context, it is also said, when Kashyapa, he was performing severe austerities. He was in his meditation actually. And it was the Sandhya Kal. It is said Sandhyakal one should be engaged in spiritual activities because at that time Shiva is going around. He sees anyone doing sense gratification, he puts a ghost in their home. Something like that. It comes in third canto Bhagavatam. So at that time, Diti felt a lot of lust to enjoy with her husband. So she approached Kashyapa, who was sitting in meditation. This fellow also little sense uncontrolled. So he fell for it. He got seduced by her, and they mingled at the Sandhya Kal. Sandhya is the dusk, overlapping between evening and daytime. So they mingled at that time, and that time Shiva is going around with his ghosts, and ghosts need a body. So he immediately put Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu in their womb. That's how they were born. So therefore, what consciousness the man and woman come together is also very important. And therefore, Dharma aviruddha bhuteshu, based on principles which are not contrary to Dharma, contrary to the Vedic principles. So therefore, even in ISKCON society, when husband and wife have to come together to produce children, they are very clear the purpose of producing children, that is that they should be Krishna conscious. And they are ready to take responsibility, and they also chant 50 rounds that day. Both husband and wife should chant 50 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra just to prepare the consciousness. And if you look at the Vedic scriptures, this is actually yajna, because you are actually producing a body for a living entity to come into this world. It is not fun. Yeah, you able to understand? It is not enjoyment, and then a byproduct of enjoyment is you have to deal with a kid. No, in the spiritual context, it is a complete responsibility thing, and therefore Krishna says, yes, sex life is allowed, but for people who are ready to take responsibility of delivering the child from the cycle of birth and death, like that Krishna says. Yeah. So therefore, in the purport, okay, we'll read the purport and continue. Who's reading?
The strong man's strength should be applied to protect the weak, not for personal aggression. Similarly, sex life according to religious principles dharma should be for the propagation of children, not otherwise. The responsibility of parents is then to make their offspring Krishna conscious.
Is only purpose. When in the scriptures, you'll also find another example of Kardama Muni uniting with Devahuti. Kardama Muni is a very great soul. When he wanted to get married, Lord Vishnu came and Lord Vishnu arranged a daughter for him. Lord Vishnu arranged a girl for him. So you can understand who is Kardama. And Kardama Muni only wanted to get married because his father Brahma told him that we have to, populate this universe. Kali Kali dikh raha hai. We have to populate the universe, so get married and produce children. So he said, okay, to follow the order of his father Brahma. Then he was doing severe tapasya in the forest. He came out of the forest, and Vishnu arranged Swambhavu Manu to give his daughter to Kardama Muni. Now his daughter was also very Krishna conscious because she is daughter of Swambhavu Manu after all. So she and Kardama Muni after marriage life also he engaged in complete tapasya, and Devahuti was simply serving him. She did not speak a word. What about my dress or my necklace? Idhar jana hai, udhar jana hai, nothing. He was doing tapasya and she was completely serving him. If you look at the section, you will feel that it is like a woman suppression thing going on there. Anti-feminism. But actually it's not. That's how it is. That the wife is so happy that my husband is Krishna conscious, and she is very happy to serve him because he is following his guru. So this guru who is close to Krishna, and husband is following guru, wife is following husband, children are following her mother. That is the flow. So she was in a very submissive way. She was serving her husband, who himself is a great soul, not a abusive husband, not a drunkard, not a smoker. He was a great devotee of the Supreme Lord. So finally she expressed her interest. Of course, he was sitting in tapasya and he opened his eyes. She is a princess. It is said Devahuti was so beautiful. One Gandharva once, while flying in the air on his airplane, he happened to see the small Devahuti playing with her ball on the terrace of her palace, and he saw like this. She was so beautiful. While seeing like this, he tripped and fell from the flight, his airplane. So it is said she was so beautiful, but she did not consider her personal beauty and personal aspects. She rendered service submissively and with great intimacy, understanding the mind of Kardamuni, what he wanted, what time, everything she did. And finally, when Kardamuni opened his eyes, he saw that Devahuti was so nicely serving me. She had become completely emaciated. She had become completely thin with dark circles, and because she didn't care for her personal beauty anymore. At that time, Kardamuni was very touched that she's supporting me so much in my devotional service. At that time, he wanted to give her something. And then he asked her, what do you want? Then she said, okay, I want to have a palace. Immediately he created an aerial mansion like city. The entire city is a floating city because he's a great yogi. He created an entire city all existing in the air. And she was taken inside some pond where many maidservants came and they decorated her. So she revived her original beauty. And then they both enjoyed for some time. Kardam Muni is doing this just not for enjoyment's sake, just to reciprocate with her submissive service. So he did this for her, and finally he gave her 9 daughters. But before entering the marriage, he had made a promise to her father Swayambhu Manu that as soon as I give her children, I'm going to quit because I am focused in my devotional service. I'm just doing this for Lord Brahma. So he gave her children, 9 daughters, and immediately he was about to take sannyas. At that time, Devoti said, "My dear Lord, Lord is husband. My dear husband, now that you're leaving, I only have these 9 daughters. How can I sustain myself?" And then she says a very powerful shloka. It comes in 3rd canto. She says, "Vanchita Maya Dridam." She says, my husband was a very powerful devotee of the Supreme Lord, but my fault is that I only took material advantage of him. It's like some people, they say, they say, do you know who am I? I'm a disciple of, say Radhanath Swami. Radhanath Swami is a very popular, person. So sometimes they want to catch his popularity. So if you're a disciple, you can do so many other things. You can follow his instructions. You can serve him. You can get his mercy. But this fellow, because he's a disciple, what he's doing? He's only taking the fame of the Guru. This is called as taking material advantage of a spiritual person. Like when you go and meet some exalted soul, what do people generally do? Purchase a book, get autograph to show that I was there. Or they go and click a photo with him to show that, I met him in my life. So I'm also great. So that is called as taking material advantage of a spiritual person. Really, if you want to take advantage of a spiritual person, you have to hear from him. You have to serve him. And you have to please him. This is taking advantage of a spiritual person. Then you're associating with him. But so Devoti also felt like this, that Kardama is such a great person, such a great supreme, great devotee of the Supreme Lord. But my fault is that I only took material advantage. When he asked, what do you want? I could have said, I want Krishna, and he would have given me Krishna. But what did he ask for? Material enjoyment. And though he gave it, now I'm not satisfied. And then when she prayed to Kardama, then finally Kardama said, okay, from you there will be another boy who will be born. And that is Lord Kapila, who is none other than Lord Vishnu. So you see, when great souls come together, Kardamuni is a great devotee of the Supreme Lord. Devotee is also a very pure-hearted lady. But when they came together, came Supreme Lord himself. So therefore, the whole point, what I'm trying to emphasize is, Krishna is not against sex life, but what is he against is sex life which is not based on religious principles. And how does it apply to our life today? More than the general application of what was spoken. Today, sometimes one falls prey to illicit activities in different forms. Reading R-rated novels, watching R-rated movies or videos, or seeing such magazines. It's very contaminating to the mind, and it also comes under the this thing category of illicit sex. One doesn't have to engage in illicit sex. Even without engaging, it is illicit sex, breaking the regulatory principle. So therefore, one has to be very, very careful when Krishna says, "I am sex slave." That is not contrary to religious principle. That means if you are pure and then you engage in sex with one's wife alone, in a consciousness that is spiritual, for the purpose of creating Krishna conscious progeny, then it is dharmic. You able to understand? Krishna says that sex life is me. Not any sex life is me. If anything is beyond this, that means illicit sex includes sex before marriage, sex outside marriage, and sex meant not for creating Krishna conscious progeny, and also viewing, participating in any material that is to do with illicit sex, even though it is not direct act of it, even hearing about it, reading about it, seeing it, it's all illicit sex. So therefore Krishna is emphasizing this. I mean, of all the points he can emphasize on the battlefield, why should Krishna talk about this? This is clear. ये चैव सात्विका भावा राजसास्तामसाश्च ये मत्त एवेति तान् विद्धि न त्वहं तेषु ते मयि. Who is next?
Know that all states of being, be they of goodness, passion, or ignorance, are manifested by my energy. I am, in one sense, everything, but I am independent. I am not under the modes of material nature, for they, on the contrary, are within me.
Okay, what is Krishna saying here? Only if you attentively heard, you can understand. What is Krishna trying to say?
Like the whole Prakriti, which is eventually these three modes, everything is controlled and by him.
Okay, that's one aspect.
And he's saying, I am not related to this.
I'm not affected by them.
I'm not affected by it.
Yeah, I'm not affected by them. That means Krishna is his energy, but he's not his energy. Sunlight is sun, but it's not also sun.
Achintya Bheda Bheda.
Yeah, Achintya Bheda Bhed. So I'm not under the modes of material nature, for they are on the contrary are within me. Purport? Continue to read purport. Okay, yeah. Who is reading?
All material activities in the world are being conducted under the three modes of material nature. Although these material modes of nature are emanations from the Supreme Lord, Krishna, he is not subject to them. For instance, under the state laws, one may be punished, but the king, the lawmaker, is not subject to that law. Similarly, all the modes of material nature, goodness, passion, and ignorance, are emanations from the Supreme Lord, Krishna, but Krishna is not subject to the material nature. Therefore, he is nirguna, which means that these gunas or modes, although issuing from him, do not affect him. This is one of the special characteristics of Bhagwan, or Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Yeah. So Prabhupada is also explaining the same thing. That Krishna is called Nirgun. So Nirgun doesn't mean that he has no qualities. Nirgun means that he is not affected by the three modes of material nature. He is not affected by these three qualities. So what do we understand when we say that Krishna is not affected by the three modes of material nature? That means, you see, in this material world, all the living entities are affected by the three modes of material nature. That means our behavior is directly proportional to what mode of material nature we are being puppeteered by. That means you can just imagine a puppet. Puppet has strings tied to it, and there's a controller. So who are we in this entire analogy? We are the puppet, And what are the ropes compared to?
The three modes of
The
nature.
three modes of material nature. Who is the puppeteer?
Material nature.
Yes, Prakriti, Durga. She is controlling us. Sometimes at midnight you feel, I really want to have a donut. Isn't it? You know. Or someday you feel that, generally a person is very sattvic, but one day he got some urge to go and party. Immediately his mode of passion and tamas increased. So immediately he has to run. Or sometime when we fall prey to bad habits, that is because again tamas is increasing. So earlier we have discussed how does the three modes of material nature affect us. Anyone knows? How is Prakriti controlling us?
By making us illusion that like where the material body.
Yeah, how? More technically.
Spiritual energy comes under the influence of material energy.
Spiritual energy comes under. Okay, yeah, like you're talking about jivas. Yeah, but how? I'm asking. How?
Is your question around the activities, the thoughts that we have?
Now, my question is how are the three modes of material nature, sattva, rajas, tamas, controlling us? In the puppet analogy, we know the puppet is directly tied. So, for us, where is the three modes? Where is the rope?
Mind.
Yeah, what about the mind? What about the mind? Huh?
Sense, like self sense gratification is also.
What?
I still don't get your question today.
Really? Okay, others who got the question. You understood the puppet? The ropes are being tied to the puppet and therefore is being controlled. So, where are the ropes for you?
Mind, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So, what does it mean?
Senses.
There's an explanation I need. Senses are under the mind, influence of the mind.
When we're affected by mode of goodness, then our mind is calm. When we're affected by mode of passion, our mind is very like
Okay.
ambitious.
Okay.
And
Oh, you're giving a cause effect. Okay, basically, the three modes of material nature are affecting the mind. That means they are tied to the mind. For a puppet, they're tied outside. But for us, where is it tied? To the mind. Yeah. So, the three modes of material nature is tied to the mind, and that's what it is controlling. So, if a living entity has to go beyond the three modes, what does he have to do?
Cut the rope.
Cut the wires.
It's not that easy to cut the ropes. Prakriti, not some cotton thread.
from our subtle bodies.
Sorry?
We have to be liberated from the subtle bodies. Like
Okay, how
by
is that
engaging,
possible?
by engaging the mind in
Service.
transcendental
By
service to the
doing
Lord.
devotional
Okay.
service.
Yeah, but in devotional service also, your mind will say, for example, look at that devotee chanting only 2 rounds. I'm chanting 8 rounds. I'm so great.
That's false ego.
So that is Rajas. Rajas acting in devotional service, so called. That means in the field of devotional service also, I'm great. Again, Maya is infiltrated there also. So how do you overcome the
By
influence?
strengthening our intelligence so that it overpowers the mind.
And does what?
We have Vivek, we have the capacity to say what is right, what is wrong,
Mm-hmm.
differentiate between right and wrong, and do the right and not listen to the mind.
Okay, if you don't listen to the mind, who will you listen to?
Guru.
Yeah.
Guru will listen to
No. If you don't listen to your mind, you said you should not listen to your mind. Okay, so if you don't listen to your mind, whom else will you listen to?
Yeah. Okay.
So how can you overcome the influence of the three modes of material nature? Is that you don't listen to it because the mind is affected. The soul is not affected by Maya. Now, is that clear? Maya has no influence on soul. Maya is affecting the mind. And the problem is the jiva is following the mind. Isn't it? What does it mean? Like, for example, sometimes we get up at 5 a.m. sometimes 9 a.m., sometimes 6 a.m., sometimes 10 a.m. That means what? Lot of flickering. This is because of, again, rajas, restless mind. And the problem is the soul is following the mind. Now, sometimes you increase sattva in the mind. Immediately the mind will say, I only want to eat fresh food, organic. Sometimes you increase tamas. The mind will say, what is in fresh fruits? Let me eat some flesh, meat. Let me drink some liquor. Because tamas is increased. When you increase rajas, it will say that I want to eat something very spicy. When you increase again sattva, then it will say, no, I want something very bland. Something just taste but no spice. So it is, you keep on wavering because the mind is like that, flickering. And the mind is also flickering because it is controlled by the three modes. So if you follow your mind, which is influenced by three modes of material nature, what will happen to you? That is the point. That means if you just say, for example, if you sit in a cab who is a reckless driver, he is going like this. But if you sit in the cab, what will happen to you? You will also go like him. So the mind is flickering, mind is reckless, and you are following the mind. Then what will happen to you? Then the soul, though it is superior to material energy, will come under the influence of material energy because it is voluntarily following the mind. And therefore, it's only possible to overcome the three modes of material nature by following Guru. And Guru should not be under the three modes. If Guru is under the three modes of material nature, then again you're following three modes of material nature. So he himself should be liberated, in a liberated position. That means either he must be a pure devotee or he himself must be following another pure devotee. And that person, he himself should be a pure devotee or he should be following another pure devotee. You able to understand? Only then one can overcome three modes of material nature.
Can mind ever be beyond three modes of material nature?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It is mind. Yeah, it will take some time when it is purified. A pure mind will automatically go towards Krishna. And a pure mind will never go towards Maya. Never. Very fact that our mind goes toward Maya shows that there is impurity in the mind. Impurity attracts impurity. And purity attracts purity. So if your mind is pure, it will not even turn. Shukadeva Goswami, he is walking, he is self-liberated Atmarama. He is walking to go into the forest, and on his side he sees two young, beautiful ladies bathing naked in a pond. He looks at them as if he sees a stone, and he walks ahead. Now imagine yourself in the shoes of Shukadeva Goswami. Can you even proceed ahead? Isn't it? It's not possible.
But the nature of mind is like Nisalati, Chanchala Mastira.
Yeah.
I mean, it is always fleeting.
Yeah. Impure mind. That is nature of impure mind. Pure mind is Sthita. What is restless is the impure mind. And why is impure mind restless? Because the lust in it, anger and greed, it is not allowing it to be peaceful. Like when you are always competitive, can you be peaceful? You are always thinking, how many marks did he get? How much did he get? What happened to his job? I am not getting job. So a lot of anxiety is there because there is rajas, passion. Similarly, in the mind there is lust, anger, greed, which is always keeping the mind restless. When the mind is purified by chanting Hare Krishna, a pure mind is always peaceful. Because pure mind is at the lotus feet, it is submitted to the lotus feet of Krishna. It has no anxiety. You able to understand? So therefore, when we follow a pure devotee of the Supreme Lord, he himself is above the three modes of material nature. So now a jiva is left with two choices. Either you follow your mind or you follow a pure devotee. If you follow mind, you are under influence of Maya. Yeah, three modes. If you follow Guru, you are under influence of Krishna, which is Yoga Maya. So Yashoda is under which influence? Yoga Maya. And people of this material world, Mahamaya. Nanda, Yogamaya. Subala, Subala, Yogamaya. Jeff Bezos, Mahamaya.
What about Ravan and Kamsa? They're under Yogamaya or Mahamaya?
For them, it's a special case because they are coming under the, it's a plan of the Lord, internally speaking. But externally, Mahamaya. But internally, it's all plan of the Lord. So, it's all set up. So, is this point clear? So, why am I sharing this? Because now here, what is being said, this verse, Krishna says that he is not affected by the three modes of material nature. That means he is above. So, how do we understand this position? Is when we hear about Krishna, we ourselves go beyond three modes of material nature. We purify. That means Krishna must be beyond the three modes. Only a person who is not tied can untie you, isn't it? If he himself is tied and you are tied, how can you both help each other? You cannot. So it shows that Krishna is untied. He is in a liberated position. That means he is not affected by three modes of material nature. Then you'll also find in 1st Canto 11th chapter, it describes about how Krishna behaved with his queens in Dwarka. So it says that Krishna behaved like a henpecked husband, always behind his queens. They felt, "Arey Krishna, come on, go do some other things also, always you are behind us." They felt like that. Krishna was only reciprocating, of course. So there's a verse, I'll just decide it. Uddama bhava pishunama laval guhasa vridavaloka nihato madano piyasam sammuya chapamajahat pramadottamasta yasyendriyam vimatitum kuhakairna shekuhu. It says, although the queen's beautiful smiles and furtive glances were all spotless and exciting, and although they could conquer the Cupid himself by making him give up his bow in frustration, and although even the tolerant Shiva could fall victim to them, still, despite all their magical feats and attractions, they could not agitate the senses of the Lord. However beautiful they would have been, they may be, they could not agitate the senses of the Lord. What does it show? Krishna was not attracted to their beauty. Krishna, once Indra saw Naranarayan in Badri. Where are they present? Badri? Naranarayan. So they were sitting there and they were doing Gor Tapasya. Indra got scared. Probably they are applying for my position. So immediately he sent Urvashi to go and dance in front of them and attract them, so that they'll give up their meditation and they'll fall down. So when actually not Urvashi, some other Apsara. So when Naranarayan saw that there's an Apsara coming and dancing in front of us, sent by Indra, poor trick by Indra, immediately Narayan from his thigh produced so many Apsaras, much more beautiful than the Apsara sent by Indra. And they told him, I think Urvashi was produced from there, from the thigh of Narayana. And he told them, you go to Indra and make him peaceful. You see? That means the Supreme Lord is not agitated by the beauty of the material world. He is not agitated by any beauty. Then why is it said that Krishna acted like a henpecked husband? Krishna is just reciprocating to the desires of his devotees. If you want Krishna, Krishna will be there. If you don't want Krishna, Krishna will not be there. Gopis wanted to love Krishna as a lover, as you see, like Romeo and Juliet, like that love. Krishna reciprocated like that, girlfriend, boyfriend. Krishna also became their boyfriend, so to speak, in a mundane way. Queens wanted Krishna to be like a henpecked husband. Krishna behaved like that because they had devotion. What attracted Krishna was their devotion, not their so-called beauty. And therefore, to please them in that way, he was acting like a henpecked husband. Arjuna wanted to deal with Krishna as a friend. Krishna became their friend. Some devotees want Krishna to be a protector. Krishna becomes the protector. But this is all done on platform of love. You cannot say, I want Krishna. Krishna, I want you to be my servant. Please be my servant. Krishna is no one's order supplier. This is all based on love. The rasas or the exchanges one has with the Supreme Lord is on the platform of love. When there is love, Krishna reciprocates with his devotees in a way that is pleasing to the devotee. So devotee is thinking, how can I please Krishna? And Krishna is thinking, how can I please my devotees? This is the relationship. So you will find, therefore, Krishna actually, if you talk in a material way, Krishna was not at all attracted by the beauty of these women. Though the beauty of these queens could frustrate Kamadev, could possibly agitate Shiva, but not Krishna. Like that, this verse mentions. Which goes to show that Krishna is not under the clutches of the three modes of material nature. Like this, I mean, there are many pastimes of Sri Krishna which shows that he is not under the influence of Maya. For example, Krishna lifting Govardhan. Isn't it? Krishna lifting Govardhan, not any 7-year-old boy can lift Govardhan. What he lifted. Once Krishna and Balram, they jumped from Pravashana mountain when they were being attacked by Jarasandha. So that time, if you jump from how much feet was it? 8,000 feet? Something like that. 8,000 feet mountain. If we jump, what will happen to our bodies? But Krishna Balram, nothing happened. As soon as they landed, they went back to their homes. They walked back to their homes. It goes to show they are spiritual. Isn't it? So, in this way, we can understand the Supreme Lord is not bound by the three modes of material nature. Now, if you understand this fact, then we can see that because Krishna is not affected by Maya, Krishna is capable of protecting us in whatever condition of life. The problem is we might not have so much conviction that Krishna is capable. And therefore these verses are mentioned. Why is Krishna revealing himself to Arjuna? To give Arjuna faith that, Arjuna, I understand you're undergoing a problem, but I am right here. See, Arjuna, Krishna, what was the distance? Not much. Arjuna is on the chariot and Krishna is in the charioteer position but standing. Not very far. For us and Krishna, what is the distance? Huh? Yeah, hardly any distance. Krishna is in the heart of the living entities. There is no distance. The problem is we don't know. The problem is we don't see Krishna and we don't understand the position of Krishna. And therefore, when situations hit us in our life, we cannot take shelter. We take shelter of mundane things. When some problem comes, immediately, call mummy, papa, brother, sister, MLA, I don't know, some, whom we think capable. But there's no one beyond the three modes of material nature. So who can really save you from all problems of life? Krishna only. Because even if your so-called relative, your bandhu, can actually save you from one problem, there will be another problem which he cannot save you from. Or you can say that he is not fully capacitated to help you in all conditions of life. He can help you in one or two conditions. Like you want to come to America, sometime your uncle sponsors you, something like that. You want to get into college, sometime your father's government contact will help you. Sometimes you want money, then your another relative will help you. But can they help you throughout? Even parents cannot help us throughout. Why? Because in this material world, being directed by the three modes of material nature, constantly problems are coming about. Who predicted? How many of you knew before you came to the US there will be a job market crash? Anyone knew here? Yeah. I mean, nowadays people know they're still coming. So it doesn't matter. They still come. So like this, sometimes there are problems which are predictable, which are unpredictable. We never know what material nature has in store for us. There is no guarantee that even if you have come across one problem, you successfully somehow overcame one problem, now there will not be any more problems in your life. Is there any guarantee? You have signed any contract? No. Say for example, you just got saved in an accident. A truck hit the car is complete smashed, but somehow nothing happened to you. Does it mean you will never come across another such an accident? It will never happen. What will never happen? Our thinking that we'll never come across such an incident again. In this material world, things keep on, coming up. Sometimes worse and worse things which we have never imagined. Before COVID happened, how many of us imagined 2 years will be locked in buildings? When before coming to US, how many of us imagined they will be stuck without jobs? So these things, so this is reality. So therefore, the only solution to all problems of life is to be free from the three modes of material nature, and that only Krishna can help us. So when we understand Krishna's position, and therefore Krishna is saying, what is significance? Krishna says, I am not affected by Maya. You can ask, so what? So what? That means Krishna can help you, because he is not affected by Maya, but we are. So therefore, Krishna is the person who can pull us out of Maya. Hmm? Okay, this continues. Tribhir gunamayer bhavair evi sarvam idam jagat mohitam na bijanati mamebhyah paramavyayam. Who's reading next?
Deluded by the three modes, goodness, passion, and ignorance, the whole world does not know me, who am above the modes and inexhaustible.
That means Krishna is everywhere. The only reason we don't see him, we don't seek him, is all because mohitam na bijanati. That means the people who are deluded by the three modes of material nature, they cannot understand Krishna. Yeah, purport?
The whole world is enchanted by the three modes of material nature. Those who are bewildered by these three modes cannot understand that transcendental to this material nature is the Supreme Lord Krishna.
That means when we look at gulab jamun, we jump on it, because we cannot control our senses. Similarly, when you look at your friend eating gulab jamun, what will you think? He also cannot control his senses, isn't it? This is called as Atmavan Manyate Jagat. We look at this world from our glasses. That means how I am, we reflect it on others. Like one thief was running from the police, and as he was running in the village, he saw a man, lying like this in front of a tree. And he thought, poor fellow, must be running from police and got tired and is lying in front of a tree here. Actually, he was paying obeisances to a tree because it was a sacred tree. But what is the thief thinking? He also must be a thief like me. Because he is thief, he thinks everyone else is a thief. Because one is lying, he feels one who lies, he thinks others also lying. Because one gets cheated in this world, he feels everyone must be getting cheated. You able to understand? So therefore, people who are bewildered by the three modes, they think Krishna is also under three modes. Because in this world you find boy and girl, there's a lot of attraction, mundane attraction. So therefore, when they see Krishna and gopis, what do they think? Krishna is also having this attraction. How is he God? Why? Because we undergo that attraction. We are undergoing the problem of lust. We think Krishna is also lusty. Therefore, Ram is very good, very noble guy. But Krishna we cannot understand. Therefore, Krishna says, Mohitam na bijanati. That means people who are themselves in the three modes cannot understand me. Yeah, next.
Every living entity under the influence of material nature has a particular type of body and particular type of psychological and biological activities accordingly. There are four classes of men functioning in the three material modes of nature. Those who are purely in the mode of goodness are called Brahmanas. Those who are purely in the mode of passion are called Kshatriyas. Those who are in the mode of both passion and ignorance are called Vaishyas. Those who are completely in ignorance are called Shudras, and those who are less than that are animal life. However, these designations are not permanent. I may be either a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, or whatever. In any case, this life is temporary. But although life is temporary and we do not know what we are going to be in the next life, by the spell of this illusionary energy, we consider ourselves in terms of this bodily conception of life, and we thus think that we are American, Indian, Russian, or Brahmana, Hindu, Muslim, etc. And if we become entangled with the modes of material nature, then we forget the Supreme Personality of Godhead who is behind all these modes. So, Lord Krishna says that living entities related by these three modes of nature do not understand that behind the material background is the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Yeah. So according to influence of the three modes of material nature, one accepts different positions in this world. Someone who is very much in mode of goodness wants to become a teacher, very sattvic job, just teaching. It's Brahminical. Hmm. He wants to perform maybe religious rites, chant some mantras. These are the functions of a Brahmana. Yajan yajan patan patam dan pratigya. Whereas someone who want to do administration, that means enforce rules and regulations, punish others for their wrongdoing or reward others for their good doing. These are all Kshatriyas who are said to be in the mode of passion. Hmm. Like how many of you feel when Bangladesh attacks happen, you wanted to take a gun and go and help out the Bangladeshi Hindus. Some people feel like that. Prabhuji, we also have to do something. How can we keep quiet? What is ISKCON doing for saving the Bangladeshi Hindus? They ask. Why do they feel like that? Because the Kshatriya nature is not able to tolerate it. Isn't it? The Brahmanas being sattvic, they work with the mind. Kshatriyas work with the mind and body also. So that tendency to be ready to fight for it, to be ready to stand for the truth, that tendency is of Kshatriya. That is mode of passion. See, it is not good or bad. It is what it is. And similarly, a person who sees the dollar sign everywhere, you see that like Keshav Prabhu made some nice granola, better than store bought. Immediately another devotee said, Prabhu, we can immediately sell this in our canteen. That means whatever he sees dollar sign on it. How much can I get out of it? He's Vaishya. Now to get that tendency, one has to be influenced by both passion and ignorance. And the Shudras means they like to work hard. That means they only work with the body. Less thinking and more working hard with the body. And that is ignorance, tamas. So in this world also, accordingly, we accept different positions. We want to be businessmen, teachers, scientists, administrators, government officials, lawyers, judges. Some are happy with just being a cleaner. Whatever it is, all positions are orchestrated, or you can say characterized by the combination of these three modes of material nature. That makes up different positions. Yeah.
But we also say that during the day till night time, we operate in three modes. So then how does a person get classified then?
You understand?
So we say,
I don't understand your question.
so we say, right, in morning you are in mode of goodness. During the day you are
Yeah,
in mode of
yeah.
passion, and during night we are in mode of ignorance. So ideally on a day-to-day basis, we go through all
So
the three
those are
modes.
the three modes characterizing your productivity,
Mhm.
not your tendency, how you want to act. A teacher can act in the mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance according to the time of the day.
Hmm.
At the same time, a scientist can also act in the three modes according to the time of the day. A construction worker can also act in the three modes of nature based on the time of the day. So that is to influence your productivity.
And you're saying that is different from the tendency in general.
Yeah. So three modes of material nature characterize everything in this world.
Hmm.
Maybe the things, it characterizes our determination, it characterizes, in 17th and 18th chapter we will study. It characterizes our charity in the three modes, determination in three modes, worship in three modes, devotion in three modes, time is also in three modes. That is what you are talking about. And our nature in three modes. So everything is a mix of three modes. Yeah.
So we also say that to practice devotion, we should be at least in mode of goodness, because
Yeah.
other modes are the
Yeah.
lower modes.
Yeah.
So if one has the tendency of like as you mentioned, that they should do the means that affected by mode of ignorance, kshatriya by mode of passion,
Yeah.
and so
Yeah.
forth. So how can and we also say that for practicing bhakti, like it is not um, not dependent on which which
Mode.
mode you are in. So
Anyone can practice bhakti.
anyone can practice.
Okay, so your question is, you're saying that if we are our psychophysical nature itself is characterized by the three modes. So then people in the lower modes, how can they help themselves to come to sattva to practice bhakti?
Correct.
Yeah. Well, you can say that anyone can practice bhakti, but it will not be pure shuddha bhakti. And it can be shuddha bhakti if it is done under guidance. But at the same time, they purify the modes. They purify the modes. And also, when we say that we have to be in sattva, that is predominantly being talked about with respect to activities, as I understand. That our activities have to be in mode of goodness. Like cleaning. What is cleaning? The sattva, rajasa, tamas.
Sattva.
It depends on how you clean, isn't it? So anything can be, even cleaning can be in sattva, rajasa, tamas.
Okay.
Any activity is sattva, rajasa,
Yes,
tamas,
correct.
right? So when we do things which is in sattva, then we are in a state of mind where we can understand about more the deeper truths of life. In rajas and tamas, very difficult to understand. Like a person is running in the subway stop and tell him, please read Gita. He say, what the hell, I have to make money. What is this Gita? I have no time for Gita. Even an Indian can say that. Because he's in rajas, he cannot even understand that there's something more to it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's with respect to activities. Okay. Can you continue? Who was reading?
There are many different kinds of living entities, human beings, demigods, animals, etc. And each and every one of them is under influence of material nature. And all of them have forgotten the transcendent personality of Godhead.
Okay. So in this entire paragraph, what Prabhupada is saying is, based on three modes, there's variety created. Karanam guna sangosa saddasa yoni janmasu. There's a lot of variety in this world. And then finally he says, Krishna consciousness is transcendental to all these three modes of material nature, and those who are truly established in Krishna consciousness are actually liberated. Okay, so now Krishna says, now in last few verses what Krishna was saying, first he talked about how you can see me everywhere. Yeah. Then he talked about, but those people who are influenced by the three modes of material nature cannot see me. Those who are in illusion, under Maya, they cannot see me. And what does it mean to be under Maya? Being influenced by the three modes. So they cannot see me. Mohitam na bijanati, he says. Now in this verse, he tells how to overcome that. How to overcome Maya. Because I am present everywhere. Taste of water, taste of light of the sun and the moon, everything, I am there everywhere. But those who are in Maya cannot understand me. But it's not, it's not that there's no solution for them. This verse is a very important verse where Krishna says how to overcome Maya. This we will discuss next time, but we'll just read it and keep. Daivihi esha gunamayi mama maya duratyaya mameva ye prapadyante maya me tam taranti te. So Daivihi esha gunamayi. That means, yes, this Maya is Gunamayi. Means what? This Gunamayi is Durga, one who consists of the three modes. And who? Daivihi means she is very divine. That means she is my energy. Therefore, she is divine. So, Daivihi Esha Gunamayi, Mama, Krishna says, mine, Mama Maya, Duratyaya. Duratyaya means very difficult to overcome. You cannot just not be in illusion. Isn't it? And you can see that in your life when you see that you have a strong urge towards some particular ambition. You cannot just come out of it. isn't it? When you are into it, it's not very difficult to come out of it. Someone else, your friend, has to pull you out. Why? Because Maya is very difficult to overcome. And Krishna, if Krishna says something is difficult, it is really difficult. Mama Maya Duratyaya. But the solution is Mam eva ye prapadyante Maya metam tarantite. But those living entities who surrender to me, they can easily cross over Maya. So this we will see next time, 7:14, and we'll discuss more that time.